My name is Sonny Friedman, and I've been asked to tell you about Rick Amber, our friend and the founder of Challenge Air for Kids and Friends. Born in Dallas, Texas, Rick attended Hillcrest High School and then on to the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. After Annapolis, Rick got his dream of flying fighter jets off of the deck of aircraft carriers going twice the speed of sound in the F-8 Crusader. That's 1,500 miles an hour. Just like the guys in the Top Gun movie, Rick was loving life. His call sign was Bear. Returning from his 109th mission in Vietnam, a lot of bad things went wrong, and Rick's jet crashed into the back of the carrier instead of landing on the top of the carrier. The plane exploded. Rick ejected through the fireball. He survived the crash and the ejection, but broke his back just below the neck, leaving him paralyzed from the chest down and in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Rick was still Rick, the Top Gun Navy fighter pilot, only at an altitude of 3 feet instead of 30,000 feet. His can-do attitude and his aggressively competitive nature never changed. Rick was ranked number 2 in the world in wheelchair tennis. He played and beat the number 1 ranked player, Randy Snow, and said that he would never play singles with him again. I beat Randy Snow. They were good friends and competed in doubles as the team to beat. That never happened. Rick also played in the wheelchair Olympics. Fast forward to 1992, Rick was teaching a group of kids in wheelchairs, aptly named Winners on Wheels, to play tennis from wheelchairs. Rick had gotten back into aviation and received his private pilot, his commercial, his instrument, his certified flight instructor, and even his air transport pilot licenses. Now, pilots always want every non-pilot to experience the thrill of flight. He asked the parents of the kids if he could take the kids up in a rented Cessna. And I guess they trusted him because they let him do it. At altitude, he asked the kid in the front if he wanted to take the controls and fly the plane. Sure. Back on the ground, Rick noticed a much different kid. Excited, proud of his accomplishment, more self-assured, can do, yes, all of these. The experience generated the idea of using the airplane as a motivational tool. Yes, the idea for Challenge Air for Kids and Friends was born that day. Rick went home, and I got a phone call, and he said, "We are going to buy an airplane tomorrow," and he needed me to go with him. I made sure that he knew that I would love to go with him, but I was leaving my checkbook at home. That was the beginning of what we have today. At the Oshkosh Air Venture in 1996, Rick was given the Humanitarian of the Year award for Challenge Air. The award was presented by General Chuck Yeager, the first man to break the sound barrier and an icon in aviation. Rick had asked me to go, but you know how it is. I was busy with life, family, and business. How could I know that this was to be Rick's last year on Earth? I did get to talk to General Yeager. Rick called me after the ceremony and put him on the phone. Me talking to General Chuck Yeager. He made a joke about, in the bars, no women would talk to him when Rick was around. And, of course, we all laughed. He also told me that I would be buying the beer whenever we got to meet in person. Yeah, fighter pilots. They're all the same. Rick took the Cessna to Oregon from Oshkosh to do 2 fly days. At the end of the second day, euphoric as always about how great the kids were, they talked him into a tandem parachute jump. Strapped to an instructor with his legs below the instructor's legs and with a video guy to film it, they jumped. The circle of people on the ground who were to catch Rick so he did not hit and break something like a leg allowed them to make a perfect landing in the middle of the circle. Feeling nothing below his back injury, he returned to his hotel and discovered that he had, in fact, broken his leg. Off to the hospital, from which he left in a huge leg cast, he asked himself, how am I going to get me and the Cessna home to Dallas? So I get another phone call, and I flew to Oregon the next day. It took 2 days to fly the little Cessna back to Dallas, and as always, we loved flying that little plane. In September of 1996, they took the cast off and noted a blood clot in the leg. A sonogram showed a sizable growth inside his bladder as well. It was cancer, and the chemo didn't get it, and we lost him the following April of 1997. But not before forming a plan and recruiting a board of trustees for the continuation of Challenge Air. So here we are, 27 plus years later, and over 36,000 flights for very special kids. Thank you, Rick, for what you have done for all of us. We miss you.